What's up everyone, welcome to today's video, welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So lately, we got news that Stefan Hill, who is the founder of Rocksteady Studios, he and Jamie Walker, both co-founders, were leaving the studio. Now, they're going to be leaving the studio, I think the report says, at the end of the year. The report also talks about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is the game that Rocksteady has been working on for the past few years, is almost finished. Now, a lot of speculation is out there. Why are they leaving? Does it mean the game is bad? What is going on? But I think there might be a lot of factors that weigh into their decisions to have moved. Maybe they decided that it was time for them to hang up their hats. Maybe they wanted to pursue other things. They're still young, so they have a whole lot of time to be able to go lead great ventures out there. But at the end of the day, there are a few things that have come to light that I think may have weighed partially into these decisions. So one of our, community members that talks about, DC superhero games, James Sigfield, shared an article and talked about how Warner Brothers decided that at some point they were going to be moving to games as a service. This was sometime in 2016. Now, I could not find the specific tweet that James actually put up, but I went ahead and tracked down the article. So I want to give credit to James for actually posting that article. That's where I first saw it. But for some reason, I've been looking through your thread and I can't find it. But I went ahead and I Googled some of the terms, and this is the exact article. And here they're citing something in 2018. John Papadopoulos actually wrote this article. And he says, in an interview with GamesBeat, David Haddad, who is the president of Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, revealed that the publisher plans to move everything to games as a service. This is the second publisher that invests as much to games as a service as possible, with Ubisoft already doing this for pretty much all their franchises. As Haddad told GameBeat, but more than ever, the tech stack, whether it's for publishing or BI or marketing, that you build and serve these games on, as we increasingly move everything to games as a service, the kind of enabling technologies you need to keep them hyper social, to keep them serving well, to keep them engaged, to take the innovations of game makers and deliver them, like the Nemesis system. You see a lot of our investment, not just in classic development, designers and engineers and artists, but increasingly in teams that end up serving live games. Now, this person says, to be honest, Games as a Service is not bad, provided the launch product is complete, with all its gameplay and storyline features intact, and the additional story gameplay content being free and without getting butchered in favor of microtransactions. The problem is that some studios focus so much on creating games as a service product that they completely overlook all the other aspects of their games, thus making them feel lackluster, hollow, and soulless. So this is the original, I guess this is the VentureBeat interview. You can go and probably look it up and read it yourself, and you can see a lot of these different things. My guess is there's probably a side of this that weighed on the minds of Stefan Hill and also on the mind of, Jamie Walker as they were actually going through completing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And I think that might have been one of the reasons that they are leaving the studio. There are still a lot of studios. There are still a lot of, companies and publishers that prioritize single player games, but many of them seem to be taking the trend. Even Sony right now is talking a little bit about bringing some of their, live service games to much more wider audiences. Basically, if they make any game live service, it's coming to PC day one. They want to leverage the games as a service or live service model so that they can reach the PC audience. And I'm also thinking Spider-Man 2 is probably going to be coming to PC day one. Watch out, Spider-Man fans. I know that one might not be something that you'd be expecting, but, we'll see. They already also did say that it's, going to be a PS5 console exclusive, but that's arbitrary because everything is a PS5 console exclusive except the fact that we pretty much have almost all of them now on PC, and Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be joining them here in a few days. So I think if you look at all of this, and plus something else that James is posting here on his Twitter, a 2016 article where he basically is pointing out to how Warner Brothers Games Montreal quietly put aside their development of a Suicide Squad game. And because of this mandate from David Haddad, they moved over to making a games as a service title, which is basically something that was probably going to be Gotham Knights. But then somehow it seems like within development, they looked and they saw, oh, maybe Avengers was some kind of an issue. Maybe the Shadow of War microtransaction store was an issue, and Gotham Knights probably decided to scale it down. But at the end of the day, I think like the article said, games as a service can be okay, can be good if they actually make the game fully and completely. Gotham Knights came out as a full, complete experience. You can play the game. You can play a new game plus. You can level up your character and enjoy a power fantasy creep that is actually pretty well done, in my opinion. Now, in terms of depth or whatever people may be looking for, I don't really know where they're going to find it from, because this game is structured and modeled differently. It also has a longevity as well, where the developers and the publishers probably set it up that way because the co-op is a very huge side of the game, where if you're playing with your friends, you're playing with your I would say community of gamers. It really does provide an extra experience. And I think what they want to do is to be able to market their DLC, market their expansions and building of the world, and provide a lot more content that will probably pay off. So I think this is probably where it is that they're going with, these live service models, because right now, if you think about it, the people who've actually played Gotham Knights, for most of them, they've become an install base. They're no longer just a player base. So at any time that new content or any kind of paid content comes out, there's almost already a guaranteed customer base. So this is the way this business thing works. Games eventually, started making a lot of money. They are the number one makers in terms of earnings for software across the board. So it is not funny, or at least at the meantime anyways, it is not a likely thing that, the people who are in charge of these ventures now are going to be, by all means, trying their best to monetize. I think this is what, Stefan Hill and, Jamie are probably trying to shift away from at the same time. But keep in mind that very soon you're probably going to be hearing some news that they've been, that they're working with some other studio or something else to maybe bring some more experiences and all that stuff. And I won't be surprised, because it seems Warner Brothers is going gung-ho into this. I mean, if you didn't already know that Suicide Squad is probably going to be some kind of a games as a service, then I await your surprise when you finally figure it out. Talk to me in the comment section, folks. I appreciate your time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.